In this video, I'm going to explain how to look at the various data analysis aspects of the Coach Bergenroth app. So presumably if you've recorded a training session, you're going to find that training session under training data. So if I click the middle button here, I just did a 5-minute row, 1200 meters. Again, you can upload to the logbook here if you're authenticated with the Concept2 logbook in the settings. You can also upload to my training management system. But if I click on the blue anywhere else, you're going to see the stats for this particular workout with an average force curve. You can leave a comment there. If I go to top right, training splits, these are the training splits. Obviously it was just a 5-minute row, so there would be more splits there if it was a longer row. There's data analysis. If you really want to dig into the data, so for example, if you wanted to do time versus something like power, there are about 17 different metrics that the app records. So really data analysis to your heart's content. And then if I go ahead and plot that, you'll see it on the graph here. So this is time versus watts for this particular 5-minute row, right? So if you wanted to go back and do power and drive length, for example, and plot that, you would get power and drive length. So things are relatively consistent there, but obviously the more data and strokes that you row, the more helpful your analysis might be. The force curve analysis, which is an in-app purchase, allows you to look at all of the strokes in a particular training session and get the average of the force curves at a particular rate. So for example, when I change the plus sign here and I change it to 21 strokes per minute, what you're seeing there is all of the strokes in that training piece that was 21 strokes per minute, well, they've all been averaged, right? And that's what it looks like averagely for those 21 strokes per minute strokes. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the yellow button, orange button, and save that. And then I'm going to hit plus again. I'm going to find 22. 22 is very similar to 21. I'm going to hit save. I'm going to hit 23. It's gone green. I want to save that. I want to hit 24. Save that. I don't know that there are any in the 25, so it tells me there's no strokes in the data range. If I go back down to 19, there are no strokes in the 19. But what I do have is a visual of all of those different strokes at different stroke rates, so I can start to see, how effective I'm being at, different stroke rates and what's happening there with the acceleration on the handle. But also down the bottom, it's doing and generating a table that basically tells you, like, at 21 strokes per minute, the time to peak force on average was 0.24 seconds. That peak force was 606.9 newtons, and there were 14 strokes in that data set that have been averaged to give us those numbers for time to peak force and peak force. And as you can see, any force curve that you save at a particular rate is going to do the same kind of analysis. So this is kind of getting into the weeds here with your stroke analysis and force curves. This is a little bit more advanced than the remote rowing coach. Wanted to add this in a little bit more. If you really want to dial down into the 1-foot view, you can click the stroke by stroke analysis, and then this gives you, the ability to look at any one of those 112 strokes that I rode over 5 minutes and dial in and see what any individual ones are there. So there's kind of like the 1-foot view and like the 100-foot view. Analyze your stroke profile to your heart's content. But I think this is a pretty powerful feature of this app that I don't see in any other apps. So certainly a worthwhile and valuable purchase if you're interested in this kind of data analysis. Thanks for watching.